Welcome to Jones and for Sports, where we make sports better.
What is good, y'all? It's your boy Jones, and welcome to another special episode of E&J Full Court Shot podcast, brought to you by Jones and for Sports. As always, I'm joined with my Laker fan, my Laker host, E. What's good, boy?
That's good. Oh, hold on.
Looking good over there with that. Hey, what you got on there? What that say?
I believe this part says champions.
Champions.
Here it says 2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Show it off a little bit. Show it off for the viewers real quick. Yeah. Make sure y'all know what that says. It says Champions Lakers 2020.
Okay.
Hope y'all know that. Not Clippers.
Yeah,
Doesn't say Clippers on it.
Yes,
Okay. Just want to make sure everybody know that. You feel me?
There's only one team. There's only one team in LA that wears white, red, and blue that wins championships, and that's the Dodgers, not the Clippers.
You dig? That's it. It's that simple. So obviously, y'all know what we came here to talk about. But first, let's shout out to everybody that follow us, our Patreon members, and all our followers. So thank y'all as always. Always got to shout y'all out for the support. But getting into it, as you can see, and as y'all saw, Lakers won the damn chip, as we predicted from jump would have happened. And
Which
it's been a couple weeks now, but say again.
Popular choice among all the.
It was only right. But yeah, exactly. We know what the fuck we're talking about. We not just doing it because that's our team or whatever. We just know what the fuck we talking about. We see talent. We've been watching basketball for a minute now, so we just know what it is. Obviously, I'm hype. Obviously, E hype. Bron got his fourth ring, his fourth Finals MVP. The Lakers got their 17th chip. That's right, 17th, tied with the Celtics. About to take another one next year. E, after it's been a couple weeks now since they won the chip, how are you feeling? I was with you the moment we won the chip. So I already know what that was like at that moment. How is it now, a couple weeks removed, knowing that your team is back on top 10 years later?
I mean, it feels right. It feels like, listen, when I started watching the NBA and to understand what was going on, it was at the beginning of the Kobe and Shaq run.
Facts.
So I was always used to the Lakers winning.
Right.
Obviously the last damn near 10 years has been a long stretch.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long stretch. Especially, obviously, it's no secret, especially on this podcast, my favorite player is Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
So the loss of him was big. But before the loss of him, obviously I know I was definitely the one who said it. But going into the season, we have a legit shot at winning it once you acquire AD. And obviously, I felt like Bron was going to come back with a vengeance after missing the playoffs last year. I think last year was just that year for him to rest and gather himself after all the final trips in Cleveland.
Yep.
Got the team right and then got his body right. We know Bron with his body, but
right.
Yeah, it just feels like we back on top. It feels like that's what we're supposed to be. Shout out to the Heat though. They had a great run. What? They pushed us, Jimmy Butler. Dog.
Yep.
Give them their credit. Can't.
That's true. You're absolutely right. But like you said, I mean, we called this from jump. We saw this coming. And then just to add a little bit more fuel to the fire, you had people basically just saying Bron was washed up. He was the wash king.
You know what?
And all those things.
Before you even get into that, this is something granted, there's a lot of hate on the Lakers because of Bron and but this one thing you gotta understand. I know, Sean, you haven't been riding with the Lakers. There's always been Laker hate.
Oh, of course.
Lakers,
Of course.
Lakers are the team in the NBA people love to hate. Nobody wants to see them winning with or without Bron.
Yeah, that's facts.
So this is
that
just that added. LeBron just brings added hate to the Lakers.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right, because speaking on somebody that's wasn't always a Laker fan
I know
over
you
the
had to
past
hate.
decade, I was on that. If all you followers know, I was not always I was always a big Kobe fan, but I had Kobe hate because they were so fucking good. They always won the chip, and it was at a time when my favorite player, y'all see him on that side, Dwayne Wade, they was going at it for the best two guard in the league at the time, and Kobe just won every time. So it was just like, but so I had that hate for him, and things like that. But obviously, where I stand with Kobe now. But like you said, there's always been Laker hate, and then LeBron just added more hate to it, and then his season last year didn't work out, and then they add AD, and then Kobe.
Oh, no.
I mean, there's just so much. So this season was meant for the Lakers to win it, and I'm happy for everybody involved. Dwight Howard, KCP, Danny Green, all those guys, Rob Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, all those guys, they all deserve all the credit, because remember a year ago, we were having a whole conversation about, damn, what is going on with this Laker organization? What are they doing? They fucking up. They made the wrong moves here. We was killing them, and deservingly so, because at that time they were fucking up. We don't pull no bullshit. We gonna call it like it is. So at that time they definitely was fucking up, but now fast forward a whole year.
I mean,
how great they turned it around.
For you, a Bron guy.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are saying Bron only came to the Lakers to go after his Hollywood dreams and his business dreams and stuff like that? That it was a off the court decision.
Yep, he was coming here to be Michael B. Jordan and shit.
Yeah, he was coming here to be Kevin Hart. He was coming here to be the next, Hollywood star. Now, and look, and to be honest, you know me, I'm not a big Bron guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy the Lakers won. I'm not a big Bron got us fourth. I don't got us, but I gotta give him his credit.
Gotta do
it. Yeah, it can go either way, but he showed in the playoffs why. He showed in the playoffs why he was there and what winning meant to him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it showed in Finals MVP.
Exactly. And it just shows you, like, everyone, like you said, everybody was saying he was going out there to make movies and be a entertainer and all these things, which may be true, but he can go get that ring too. You feel me? He can go get that ring on the way, and a few more at that while he's out there. He's LeBron James. He can do it all. So let's not
yeah, I mean, to build off what you're saying about we can get more, there's one guy that's key, and that's that superstar that you can say whether he was a superstar before he got there and he just became that next level superstar in AD. But the biggest knock on was he doesn't stay healthy. He can't win big games. AD showed out.
Can't say that now, can they?
AD's that guy now.
AD is that guy. He got that ring on his finger now. And you already heard Bron say, look, this is your team now. I done showed you how to be a winner. Here you go. I done did what I did already. Now you got the keys to the car. Take it. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm gonna ride with you.
Just before we move on off of them, like you said, you gave your credit to the guys, Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo. Playoff Rondo was a dog.
Playoff Rondo.
Alex Caruso.
Woo. Yeah. Big time.
Mark Morris.
KC3. You know
your boy, I'm not giving him his credit.
That's your boy too, man. He's on the Lakers uniform, boy. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him.
He won. Congrats. You know,
Couldn't sleep.
and shout out. I was big on him when he was playing. Like I had a lot of hate towards him, Danny Green. I don't agree with the bullshit ass death threats he got after missing a fucking three. Yahoo gave him death threats. Y'all corny.
Super corny.
It's a fucking
Super
game.
corny. Y'all the same ones that's sucking them now for being the champion. You
Like
feel me?
to me, like you was with me most of the games. How like when he would shoot, I'd be like, oh fuck. I was like to wish death on somebody for missing a shot.
Yeah.
So
it's
how
bigger
would
than
you
that.
feel? How would you feel? We went to your job and
Right.
you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like
You gonna
come
say,
on with
"Nigga,
that.
you dead for this
That's
shit. We
just corny.
feeling you and your family." Like what type
Exactly.
of
Like
he just hey, sometimes it goes, sometimes it doesn't. It is what it is. That's part of the sport. You feel me? You gotta live in love with your team. Yeah, what it is. Yeah, I know how I am with my Cowboys. I fucking love them to death, but when they suck, they suck. But I ain't gonna go wish death threats on
Stop.
Dak Prescott.
just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Stop.
Did I go too far by bringing them up?
This is the this is not locker room Sundays.
This is the room for
There's a
champions.
reason.
I'm
Listen,
sorry.
listen. There's a reason why I haven't been on locker room Sunday this season. My Broncos, the season's been over in the preseason.
True that. Well, mine's is over now. So, but moving on to what's going on in the NBA now is what's going to happen next season. How is this all going to work out? So first,
When's next season gonna start?
and boom, you just went right into what I was going to say. We got two sides. We got two dates we talking about so far, which is December 22nd or Martin Luther King Day, which is in January. So the players are pushing for MLK Day, and the owners are pushing for December 22nd. And obviously, the big reason is money, revenue. They lost a lot of money this year. Obviously, that hurt their pockets and shit like that. So we can completely understand why the owners will want to get started early and try to get some of that money back. I totally understand that. But then the players are saying, yeah, but some of us have been in that bubble for 3 months, and 2 months off is not enough. We need a lot more time to get our bodies right and be with our family. We were just away from our family during the pandemic for 3 months, and you trying to take us away during holiday season. So I completely understand the players, what they're going through with that as well. But now they're saying that some players, some star players, some like LeBron James, maybe even AD and other players on other teams are saying they might not play if the season starts on December 22nd and just wait a month. And I kind of understand that too. I understand both sides of it. Where you at on that?
I'm not mad at all about the players not wanting to start this early because, like you said, everybody who went to that bubble was extremely different. Like playing every other day. And then I look at Jimmy Butler. What was it? Game 5 after Game 5, could barely walk off the podium. You know, like these guys with the long playoff run, like give them to January. Like who cares? I understand Christmas Day is big to NBA and all, but like you figure you start them in January, they play. What the big thing is they want to play 72 games.
Mm-hmm.
Starting in December is actually, like, to be honest, 72 games is gonna be. I think it'll be worse playing from December till whenever for 72 games than a normal season because, granted, it's 10 games less, but that's more games bunched together now. So there'll be back to backs and all of this, and we don't know if it's still gonna be a bubble or not.
Yep. Yeah, they're trying not to be. They're trying to. Actually, I know early when the bubble started, they were saying we might just do a bubble again, but now the owners are saying they want to get some of their fans into the stadiums,
and I think
at least 5 to 10% capacity.
Yeah, seeing what the NFL's doing, and even baseball with this past World Series, there was fans in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
You know the NBA is gonna want fans in the stands.
No question. Absolutely. They like you said. I mean, they lost money. They trying to fill those pockets.
You gotta get that money back somehow.
You got to get it back, and no better time than Christmas Day, which is one of their biggest days, and on the holidays for sports.
But
Obviously,
we all say it now. But
Thanksgiving.
it's like what we say now. During the regular season, what do we say? The real start of the season's Christmas Day.
Exactly.
If that first month and a half you don't see much until Christmas Day is usually when you get the first big matchups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just gonna be.
It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. My first thought is it's going to start on December 22nd because they're the owners. They have the power. Even though, in the NBA, the players union have a lot more power than any other. Well, not any other, but more than the NFL.
It's a more
players union.
It's more of a player-friendly league.
Right. It's more player-friendly, so they're more understanding. But when you're talking about guys that are used to making hundreds of millions of dollars and all that's been taken away from them, I don't know if they trying to hear what the players are saying that much. They hear what they're saying, but at the same time, they like, look, if y'all want to get paid, y'all want to start on December 22nd. Because if we don't start on December 22nd, money's coming out of your pocket too. So I hope y'all understand that as players as well. So it's going to be real interesting to see how that all gets played out. Either way, I'm mad at either side. If the players decide to sit out, I totally understand because you also got to think about this. There are teams that didn't play this year. Well, not didn't play, but since COVID happened, they've been off since. They didn't enter the bubble. And then you got guys that only got 2 months off. That's a huge disadvantage. Huge disadvantage. So you got to put that into play as well. So we'll definitely, I heard there's a deadline coming soon. I think that's supposed to be extended. And we'll find out, what's going on. But obviously, once we find out, you'll hear it from us on the podcast as well. So moving on from that, there's been some moves in the NBA, not players, but coaches and GMs. And starting off with Doc Rivers. We all knew that was going to happen. His time there was needed to be up. And
can we say it? Can we say it though?
What?
Doc is a little overrated.
He is, absolutely. I mean, when you look at his track record, he's got some great things that he's done, but he's also got some bad things he's done.
And he's only won it once. And he's had how many super teams or close to a super team?
Absolutely.
And you only have 2 final trips and 1 finals win to show for?
He's the only coach to lose I think it's 3. It might be 2, but I think it's 3 3-1 leads. He's the only coach to do that. So that ain't good to have on your record. But now he's in Philly, and just yesterday or today, they also signed Daryl Morey. So what are your thoughts on the Philadelphia 76ers signing those 2 big names?
I'm critical. You know how I am. I'm critical about Doc's coaching. Like, I know everybody gives a what he did, but I'm big on what have you done. He hasn't done shit. Let's keep it 100.
Facts.
He's known for getting. He can't even get to the conference finals.
Hasn't done it in a while.
Quite a while. I don't know how I like the fit with him in Philly. Philly's just a weird team because it's like, Embiid and Simmons, are they talented? Yes. That team is just built bad.
Right.
There's not enough shooting around Embiid and Simmons. You run Simmons at the point. Okay, he's a great passer, but he can't shoot. You got bad contracts in Al Horford and Tobias Harris.
Yeah.
It shows you how how badly they built when the guy they could have signed for that money just took the Miami Heat to the finals.
Yep.
And with Daryl Morey, who knows? He just made a team that ran PJ Tucker at the center for most of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. He
With,
sure did.
with another point guard who can't shoot. But remember, at least that team had James Harden. Philly don't have a James Harden.
Right, exactly. At least he made a move for Westbrook. They don't got Westbrook.
I don't know. That team is just built bad.
So what do you think? Is it at least an upgrade from where they were before as far as coaching and GM? Who was the coach before that?
Brett Brown?
Brent Brown. Is that an upgrade from Brent Brown?
I kind of feel like they're similar. Brent Brown's another one. Like he had the talent there. He's had pretty much that team, and he still haven't did it. And all right, I'm not gonna say the GM is a terrible is Morey a terrible GM? No, Morey's more of an analytical GM. So we'll see how he builds that team now. Because who was a GM before? Elton Brand?
Yeah. Well, I think he's actually still going to be in charge of
President or something like that.
Yeah, he's going to be in charge. He's going to still.
I gotta see how Daryl Morey builds the rest of this team out first and what moves he makes before I can say if it was a bad move or not. Just because that team is so badly built now.
Right. I agree with you. I got to see what Daryl Morey does with that team first before I make an official decision on how I like it. But initially, starting off with Doc Rivers, I like the hire. I think it is an upgrade from Brent Brown only because that team, like the Clippers, need leadership, and they don't have that on that team at all.
No, you're right on that. Like that team, you couldn't go and put a first ever head coach there. Like you needed a coach with a resume there.
Right. You need a vet, someone that can get in Ben Simmons and Embiid's ass if he needs to, and yell at them and make them accountable.
Right. You're right on that note. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So that's the only reason why I think it's a positive for them. But other than that, like you said, Doc Rivers hasn't really proven much for the long time. So he's going to have to prove that he can still coach and bring a talented team somewhere in a struggling East, but it ain't going to be struggling anymore because guess what? Brooklyn's here. Mm-hmm. Brooklyn is here now. So there's no question about KD and Kyrie. That's going to happen next year. So he's going to have to build an amazing team if he wants to be competitive in the East. Because as of right now, it's Brooklyn.
Here's my thing about the East. The East has been dominated by Giannis for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got the better version of Giannis there. Because KD does everything Giannis does, and some of the things a lot better. He's a better dribbler, better shooter, overall better scorer.
Yep.
What are you going to do now?
You're going to have to build a team around. This is where Daryl Morey.
Let's give the Nets some credit. What they did in the bubble with nobody, basically.
Right.
A lot of their key guys were out. Now you're getting all-stars back?
Exactly. You got a complete team there. I mean, seriously. I mean, despite what we think about what Kyrie and KD say on Twitter because they say some outlandish shit, and it's just like, all right, y'all feeling each other.
You can't even acknowledge it.
Yeah, it's just like, damn, it's just like one of those things. Like, all right, I gotta post this shit. This got to go on.
I feel like what they're saying, especially what KD's saying, is just putting it out there to be like, okay, we get it. You guys genuinely like each other.
Right, exactly. We get it. But enough with that shit. Y'all gonna have to show us, even though we know y'all have the talent, but y'all still got to go out there and do it. And you got to remember, first time teams normally don't win the chip the first year. That's just how it is normally. Not saying they can't do it, but
if there's a team, if
they'll get there. I don't know if
there's a team that can go out and challenge for it, it's them.
Right.
Just the bucket getters that they got.
Yeah, they got a complete team. They can definitely, like I said, they'll be the best team in the East. no question. Obviously, if their KD comes back as healthy and Kyrie comes back healthy and all those guys come back healthy, that'll be that team. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Another team to talk about is the Clippers. Now, normally we wouldn't even give them the time of day on while we over here trying to have our parade with the Lakers, but just for the sake of argument, and things have been popping up lately, we're gonna give y'all little segment. Not
Insert
that
Soldier Boy meme now. The Clippers. Clippers, the team that blew a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets, the Clippers.
Yeah, them bum ass
The
niggas.
team that was mocking Dame, Cancun on 3, the Clippers.
Cancun on 3.
Playoff P, the Clippers.
Pandemic P. But the only reason why I'm interested in this topic is because of who they trying to go get. And that is our guy, playoff Rondo. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think it'll happen, but it is a serious threat because Rondo is a good player and he is absolutely what the Clippers need on that team. He will be most likely a starter. He will be the leader of that team. He will make some extra money. He still will with the Lakers regardless, but and he is a guy that was in that Laker locker room that can tell, that team how it's going to be run, how things are going to be. Now, obviously, the Lakers are going to be a different team as well, but still, that's still something to one thing I know, LeBron wants him and AD wants him. I just heard a report that AD said right after he signed to the Lakers, the first person he called was Rondo. He said, Rondo, I need you here. I need you to re-sign with the Lakers because I'm comfortable with you as my point guard. And now that they got a chip under their belt, run it back. Run it back, Rondo. Come on. Run it back, Rondo. Don't do that. Don't go to the basement. We don't want to see you in the basement. Stay up top in the suite with the champions. Stay up top with us. All right? Everything's going to be good. We're going to give you your money. You're going to get your minutes. And you're going to be a 3-time champion. Rock with us, Rondo. What's your thoughts on that?
All right. Rondo. Why do you want to go to a team? Why do you want to go to the team that's going to want to cover up that freshly brand new banner that's going to be put up? That
you're going to have to watch that.
You're going to watch them. That's crazy. Nah, my big thing is the one big thing I heard about this Laker team was the chemistry was there. The chemistry is there. The chemistry. They had great chemistry.
Yep.
And the one knock on the Clippers was there was no chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
So common sense would be don't add too much to that team. Keep that team together to build more chemistry.
Right.
Did they hurt their own chemistry themselves by load management shit that they had? And the reports that Paul George and Kawhi barely practiced together, of course.
Right.
But like for Rondo, I think Rondo's fit. And to be honest, but like with Rondo is like, would he start with them? Probably, or he would have to battle a guy like Patrick Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, but I think the Lakers know what he brings, and they're not going to allow him to walk. The only way I see him leaving the Lakers if some team throws more money than the Lakers can.
I agree. I think it's only
like, but I think if the gap is only a million to let's say $3 million gap, I feel like Rondo might be like, I made enough money in my career. Let me stay here and try to run it back.
Exactly. I think they were saying the numbers around 8 million or something like that, which both teams have the money to throw at him. I think he wants to run it back. I think, especially when you're talking about being in what is it, his 16th year. it's about winning rings now, and you know you're gonna get your money because you played well enough to get your money and get that raise. But it's also about collecting those rings and getting your best shot. And we know the Lakers are going to be another team. They're already the favorites going into the season. The Clippers we don't even know what the Clippers are going to look like in a few months because that team might break up. You know, so you never know. Why not stay where you know this team is going to – you already know what the Lakers are about. You already know what it –
there's a big chance that the Clippers lose one of their, if not their second key role player this offseason.
Yeah, there's gonna be. I
think Harrell's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Montrez is gone.
Yep. There's some are saying P might be gone too. It might just happen, especially if a big move is going to be made.
Here's why I don't think Paul George gets traded. His trade value is very low right now.
It sure is.
Who's going to want to take on the contract? And the Clippers, especially, let's think about it. Considering what they just gave up a year ago for him, you're not going to bring nothing close to that back. So why are you going to make that move?
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense.
There's big talk about Victor Oladipo on the trade market, but he's not going to be traded because his trade value is low, which I don't know why. So why would you trade Paul George? What are you going to get back? A couple role players and
his value
first round pick?
Definitely. Last thing before we end it, free agency. What are your thoughts? What are you, especially with the Lakers, what are you thinking you guys need to add so we can repeat this damn thing? What was it? You froze in. Did we lose you?
What was that? Repeat that.
I said, what do the Lakers need so they can repeat as far as free agency?
I said, repeat that. Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
What do the Lakers need to repeat as far as free agency?
Honestly, it sounds cheesy and corny to say, but you got to bring back a decent amount of that team.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dwight Howard, you can bring him back. Rondo, is a must. KCP is a must.
Mm-hmm.
I like a guy like Markieff Morris.
Yep.
And obviously, if you're going outside of that, shooting's a big thing. We did not have consistent shooting. We brought guys in like Danny Green, who wasn't consistent all year.
Right.
So you can see, I know there's a lot of interest in Danilo Gallinari.
Oh, yeah. Sniper.
And obviously, beyond that is just somebody who can score and get their own shot while LeBron is off the floor.
Yep.
Which is a must. Like,
yeah.
Not saying out of the names that's been rumored, like trade wise, a guy like a Victor Oladipo, who you can all right, LeBron sitting, go get yours now.
Right.
Help build this lead, or we're down. Let's add up while AD rests or while LeBron rests.
Yep. Absolutely.
Overall shooting and scoring, and if you maybe a bigger wing defender, because the thing is, they have the Lakers defensive guys like KCP, Danny Green, and Caruso.
Yeah.
And they need somebody around that 6'7" to 6'8" who can guard the wings like a Kawhi and shit like that.
Yeah, no question. I agree with everything you said as well. As far as like guys that'll be available for them to get, I would love to see like a Dennis Schroeder coming off the bench because that's a guy that knows his role and plays his role well. I
like
think
that.
he'd love to be on the bench behind AD and Bron. Another
I
guy
like that.
He's like play that Rondo role, come off the bench and give you everything, and be a sixth man of the year kind of guy.
I like that. I also like the rumors of the Derrick Rose.
Yes, absolutely.
Guy who's like
reinvented himself.
That role off the bench is perfect for a guy like him and his health. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I like the Danny.
I don't like the room. Listen,
you don't like who?
I don't like the rumors of the Chris Paul rumors. I know that's Bron's guy, and everybody thinks that for the Lakers to get him, they have to give up way too much. And the problem the Lakers are in right now is who's the one guy with potential that they can move? You guessed it, your boy Kyle Kuzma.
Of course.
But his contract he don't get paid nothing.
Yeah.
So you gotta attach him with a guy like Danny Green to make money match. And we all know fucking Chris Paul's making $80 million the next 2 years. Where are you matching that? You can't even match that in 2K. You gotta turn the trade logic off to make that trade go through.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're absolutely right. I was thinking the same thing. Like, it would be nice to have him, but at the same time, you would have to give up too much. And honestly, they don't need a point guard if LeBron is starting at point guard.
Bring back Rondo. You don't need him.
Bring him back. You need a guy that can come off the bench. I mean, yeah, if Chris Paul were to be there, then LeBron would go back to his regular position, which I don't think he would want to do. But if he had to, yeah, he'd do it. And then you would, if you still got Avery Bradley, he can come off the bench. But still, I think it just works out better if they have someone else that's role who, like a Dennis Schroeder, is, hey, I'm coming in to get this team Rondo, and do it like that, because it worked. It worked. Yeah. That's all we said all year was we need that person that's going to come off the bench and give and work with that second unit as well as LeBron does with the first unit. Absolutely. And we got it in Rondo, so we're going to have to need that same thing next year.
Absolutely.
Right. Other than that, there's been a few other signings. Just quick thoughts. What are your thoughts on Stan Van Gundy going to the Pelicans?
That's intriguing.
Do you think he still got it?
We'll see. I mean, why not? It's good you got a young team.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, I think the smart thing for them is, all right, granted, I understand you guys were close. Move Drew Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Trade him a lot. Shit, if it worked from on the Lakers, Holiday is trade him to a contender and get some more draft picks or younger guys and build that team from that. You got a nice young core on that team.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think it works just because, like you said, he's going into a young team, a team that is building something, and they'll listen to a guy like him who's been there, done that, and been around the league for forever.
A guy I would love, a guy I would have loved to coach that team, and I'm glad he's not. Hopefully, he sticks on with the Lakers. Jason Kidd.
Yeah,
I feel like Jason Kidd would elevate Lonzo's game to another level.
No question, and that's what we've all been wanting as just fans of basketball. We always want to see, guys that have potential to reach it. And Lonzo Ball is not one of those guys that got in there.
I'm a big Lonzo guy. Lonzo guy.
Me too. I think he has big potential, but we just haven't seen him get there yet. And a guy like Jason Kidd, like you said, one of the greatest point guards of all time, could get him to that next level.
So, I mean, who better for Lonzo to learn from? A pass first point guard whose shot wasn't there when he first came into the league.
Exactly. No question at all. Another one. What's his name? Ty Lue, Clippers. What do you think about that?
Clippers. Ty Lue gets credit for
keeping that same energy. I fuck with him.
And plus, I'll give you this: Ty Lue gets credit for LeBron winning him that championship.
I love it.
I'll give you another. I'll give you it. Ty Lue, the guy who AI stepped over.
Ty Lue, you ain't getting no love because you were Clippers.
Nah,
So
you on that other side. You on the other side.
you on the other side, boy.
We keep that Clippers smoke. That Clippers smoke stays all year round.
All year fucking round.
Shout out. Shout out to Shannon Sharp too.
Yeah, fact. Shout out to Shannon Sharp keeping that same energy all year. You know what it is. Keeping that same.
One of my favorite Broncos of all time.
You did. One of the best tight ends of all time. You did. Come on now. And then the last one, I don't know if you know about this one. The Rockets signing their assistant manager, who's been assistant manager. Salas, I think his name is. He's been assistant manager for like 20 years on mad teams with mad greats. What do you think about that hire?
I don't know.
It's the Rockets, right? It's just like that.
Listen. I think the problem wasn't the coach in Houston. Am I a D'Antoni fan? Not at all. I do not like D'Antoni at all. But you gave the guy nobody over 6'8" to rock with. He went into the playoffs, went against these guys, and got smoked 5 games. You heard?
Yeah.
Like, what do you expect? And then you put Russ there. Russ and James, it's not there. It's not there. It's not. It didn't work.
It's not.
It's not the coach. I'm sorry. It wasn't the coach. It's the reason why you lost. It was bad front. The front office thought, hey, look, I have a great idea. I wish I was in that meeting when the guy who came up with that idea. Listen to me. Just hear it out. Got an idea. We'll start PJ. We'll start PJ at the center.
I would have stared that nigga out the room. Like
I would have said PJ who. I would have said PJ who.
I'd have said, get the fuck out. Don't ever come back into this room until you have something valuable to say. If you say anything dumb like that again, I will slap the shit out you and you're fired. Crazy ass idea. But hopefully they learn from that. And this is why we say analytics sometimes can ruin sports. It ruins ideas.
Hey. I know this is a basketball. I know this is a basketball podcast. But did anybody watch the last game of the World Series?
Analytics ruined that. Ruined it.
Wait. Yankee fan here. I'm happy Tampa lost, but your man has 70 pitches throwing a one-hitter. Why did he get taken out? Because analytics said it's time to take him out?
Analytics said take him out when he was hot. He was hot.
Shout out Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts getting that chip. Kershaw getting that chip. LA getting that chip. Kobe.
LA.
Kobe.
Here, let's break it. LA, we'll see
what it is. And hopefully this pandemic shit really slows down in a few months because me and your boy E is going out there. We gonna represent.
See you in February.
Represent LA to the fucking fullest. You already know how it is. So other than that, that's it. Last shout out for the LA Lakers. LA Lakers champions for Kobe, Bron, AD. We running it back. Let's get it. It's your boy Jones, E and J Full Court Shot. Jones for Sports. We make sports better. Peace.